Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Sitting Ringside. This is episode number 211. As always, I am Robert
211. Do we
Villa.
need to do a 21 gun salute? Oh, no, 211. Never mind. It was a way
Oh,
off.
God. As always, I am Robert Villa, and with me, David Rodriguez, Mark Ambu Miller, and Rudy Lara. How's it going, fellas?
Not too
It's
bad.
going,
How are
man.
you?
Hey,
It's
you know what,
Thursday.
man? It's another Thursday night hanging out with the boys. Yeah, man. Hey,
So
Rudy,
how's it hanging, Roberto?
short shriveled it to the side.
What are you going to say?
Can you throw the live link onto my profile, please?
The live link onto your profile.
The live stream.
Sure.
Por favor.
Did it not stream on your...
Mm-mm.
All right.
Sweet. All right, guys, before we get started, let's go ahead and give our quick shout out to HKA USA. Go to hkusa.com. They support Fight Book MMA, support a lot of fighters, so go and show your support to them as well. Also to our streaming partners, Trailer TV, Flow Combat, ESPN Plus, DAZN, and MMA TV. And a quick shout out to all the promotions that we work with. Y'all know who you are. And if you guys don't know who we work with, go to our website, fightbookmma.com, and you'll be able to see who we partner with. All right. If you want to get some good supplements, go to foxhoundfuel.com. Go to Foxhound Fuel or click the QR code and use our discount code FBMMA for 20% off all your purchases. I use them. I like them. Good guys that run this company. Go check them out. Fellas,
Oop.
if you want to wear some comfortable underwear, go to my friend's website, John Tyler brand underwear. Click that QR code or go to his website. Better to click the QR code. You get some good underwear. Use our discount code for 20% off. Fight Book in all caps. Yeah, buddy. And Rudy, who else do we got, man?
We got our sponsor, Shell Shock CBD. Visit shellshockcbd.com for all your CBD needs. Use code FBMMA for an additional 10% off. And just like we always talk about every week, our favorite product from there is a CBD lube.
Oh,
It's not what you think, folks.
Top
It really
notch.
works. It's amazing.
Top notch.
It's top notch. And this is our highest product seller. You know, it's flying off the shelves. It's something you want. Trust me.
Definitely.
It's for the ladies. Use that as an excuse.
Right on. Guys, we have wait. Also, if you want to show your support, go to our Fightbook MMA merch. Click that QR code. We got some good stuff. Nice shirts, nice hats. And if it's not there, just let me know. Or let one of us know and we'll make it happen. And if you want to buy us a cup of coffee, show your support and click that QR code and give a little small donation. We really do appreciate that.
A cup of coffee or a happy dad or one of those prime UFC
Or a Happy Meal.
drinks.
Yeah.
I'll take a Happy Meal.
I'll take a poutine.
Poutine.
Oh shit, guys, we have a badass show tonight. We're going to be talking about UFC Fight Night that's happening this weekend, and also we have UFC fighter Julio Arce. He's coming off a badass win that happened 3 weeks ago. We're going to talk to him on what's the plan for his future. Is he going to stay at 45? Who is he going to call out next? And see what's up with Mr. Arce.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is joining us now.
Yeah, buddy, let's fucking go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have UFC fighter, badass, Mr. Julio Arce.
What's
up, bro?
Guys? What's happening?
What's going
Hey,
on, dude?
man.
You know,
Bro.
just teaching classes, finishing the night here at my school.
Hell
Nice.
yeah, man. That's awesome.
What
Bro,
you guys
thank you so
doing?
much, man. We're good, bro. We're good. Just hanging out, man. That's all we do at our podcast every Thursday night.
That's pretty
We
dope.
hang out, talk shit, and talk about fights.
What else? What's better? What's better than doing that?
Yep.
That's the way to do
Bro,
it.
yes, sir. Mr. Julio, you're coming out of a badass win. Talk about that win, man. How do you feel? I know it's been 3 weeks, but during the
Actually, I have a
post
clip
fight
of it.
prep.
Let's take a look at it real quick.
Okay, yeah. Let's take.
Some big shots. Arce back in a big way. Julio Arce by knockout in round 2.
Knockout in round number 2.
Yeah, but dude, I tell you what, there was like the amount of relief after that fight. It was it was going through but I was supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt way back, and I tore my ACL. So then, of course, you got to get surgery. You're on the shelf. So as you're coming back, that was the last fight of my contract. So we're negotiating for a new one to keep going. So the last fight of your contract, the expectations, will my knee hold up? Like what's going to be the outcome, and the layoff itself. So it's like when you really look at it, I'm like, man, there was, and I think just also, I was dealing with like my own personal things. I had a close family member. My dad, he's dealing with stage 4 cancer. So working through that, and it's like it's like in your mind starts getting like sometimes your mind starts racing, but it's like you got to draw it all in. It's like, all right, we got to lock in and just go.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I heard what you said during the post fight press conference, I was like, how do you deal with all that pressure, and with what's going on with your family, the mental aspect of your knee, because I went through that. I had knee surgery, so it just messes with you for training and running and lifting weights and stuff like that. So um I I personally didn't see any uh, things going on with you during your fight. You were pretty much just dialed in and ready to do work.
Yeah.
Um, it's amazing. It's amazing what a what a person can do when you're going through stuff like that.
Yeah, when like the knee was a major one, because also look, people, it's not the fight that hurts people, it's during the fight camp, it's making it
Hmm.
to the fight itself, because during the fight camp, there's going to be injuries here and there, and things happen, and then look, if you want to fight, you don't want to have to pull out of a fight when you've already gone so much into it. There's like working around it. In my case, it was, I made sure I had the right team around me, and they felt like that I was losing a little bit of like focus, they dialed me back in. They're like, okay, I always gotta give a shout out, because Dr. Chris Ahmad from Columbia University, he's the one that did the surgery for my knee. So shout out to him. And then shout out to Dr. Brian at Edge Pro PT, because the moment I came out of surgery, like right away next to, they're like, okay, you're in here. And he was making sure that I was, like, within the week, I was walking, I was doing everything I had to do. And we did all the PT that we had to do to, make sure that I was able to come back to fighting. So always a big shout out to him, the people at Edge Pro PT in Paramus, New Jersey, and the TNT strength and conditioning area. Like they hooked it up, and they made it happen, and they made the recovery easy, and especially through fight camp, they made sure they stayed on top of it, and I stayed on top. I was super disciplined about it, and the knee held up great. And look, I left this fight no injuries, no nothing. So hopefully trying to get back in there soon.
I know you said that this was your last
Yeah, and
fight of the
Julio too.
contract. Oh, go ahead, David.
Yeah, and I would say, Julio, yeah, not only were you coming back from a major knee injury, you had a canceled fight, which I know that fight excited you a lot. I really would have liked to seen that fight play out, but you drew Herbert Burns, but you were also rolling the dice, like Rob said, last fight in your contract. I heard in a recent interview that, like, you're just, you're going in there to fight, win or lose, and you're going to deal with it, but you ended up coming out on top. Fighting somewhat of your backyard to Atlantic City got to be an exciting feeling, getting it done, getting that win, and in the fashion that you did.
It's really, it's kind of, how's it go? It's like it's just back to where I started everything. Back to, like, it brought me back to the real combat days, traveling
Yeah.
to City, New Jersey on a Thursday to make weight and fight on Friday night. Then they're like, and then after you weigh in, they're like, have some Hooters wings. So it's hysterical. But yeah, it was just, I'm like, wow, the irony is, like, we did our last fight on our contract where we started fighting to begin with, which was pretty cool. So that was great because I was, Ring of Combat alumni. I started with Lou Neglia for the longest time, and
Hmm.
that's where I did most of my fights, and like one fight at the FFC, but everything was just Ring of Combat all the way through.
And what's been your
That's it.
favorite fight so far in your career?
Honestly, in my career, my favorite fight was when I fought Shaman Marias. Although I didn't win,
Mhm.
it was just one of those fights where, like, it was just back and forth. It was a split decision, and it was just bloody as hell. I got knocked down twice. The first round, like, I got knocked down. I got up. I got his back, almost choked him out. Second round, he dropped me. He bloodied me up. Third round, it's like we just came back. We were just like pouring it on, and it's just the fact that, like, where it was, like, I left my blood all over the canvas in Atlantic in Madison Square Garden, and they actually have a picture of me fighting him, all like with like a mask full of blood in Madison Square Garden. So I can actually say that, which is cool, pretty cool. It was one of my favorite fights.
I mean, you fought the who's who, bro. I mean, I think like one of your first fights was Dan Ige.
Yeah,
Dan
man.
Ige, you took him out. You took Julian Erosa out. You took out a
Yeah,
lot of dudes that people didn't expect you
I
to
know.
win.
I feel like everyone just expect me to be like the underdog or just get my ass kicked because I'm the little guy. But man, I'm
And
here to
I think
fight.
you were a dog. You started off as a favorite, and then you ended up as a slight underdog going into this fight. And I was like, what the fuck? Herbert Burns, he's toast. You went in there and smoked his ass.
That's the whole point, man. I was like, especially watching his past fights and knowing that when things don't start going your way, that he starts to really fade. I'm like, we're gonna bank on that, and that was the first thing. First round, I'm like, I'm just gonna stop your takedowns, stop your takedowns. Took that away, and then I'm like, all right, we're going off now.
Who are
Mark,
some
you
of
Yeah,
your
had
has
idols
there
coming
been?
up in the sport?
Say that again. Yes. Say that again.
Who are some of your idols coming up in the sport?
I'll tell you what. I'm always just respectful of just everyone who fights in general because it's, of course, you got the Diaz brothers, and you got all these guys who were just going to wars, like Robbie Lawler, who's,
mm,
oh man, it's like his iconic fights. Um, of course, I was, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz days, BJ Penn, all these guys coming up, but as I grow, as you start to, like, grow into the sport, you're like, damn, you gotta. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is, like currently now or before. You got to give all these fighters respect because every chance they fight, every time they fight, you're like, you're doing what less than 1% of the world does. And that's like be able to face the unknown and put yourself in such a vulnerable position
mm.
because it's like you can win the fight and feel like a god, but then, like, you can lose the fight and then feel like a joke. And the fact that you put yourself there, it's like, you got to respect it because very few are willing to do that. So, my hat's off to
Yeah,
all the fighters out there,
some
especially
dudes
like,
crack under that kind of pressure, man.
yeah, especially like a lot of my a lot of my teammates, like, Lyman, Mike Trezano, Jimmy Rivera, Shane, especially Shane, who's, had some iconic fights in there. And like I give him all the respect. Like these guys go in there and I have some of my teammates who are fighting bare knuckle boxing in May 11th. I'm like, Jesus, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, bare
Would
knuckles.
you?
That's crazy
Would
stuff,
you?
man.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Julio?
Nah, honestly, like if I like once I pay a dog bear, I'm like, nah. Like I honestly like if it gets to like the money, I'm like, nah. It's bare knuckles, like where I draw the line. I'm like, I give him respect. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
It,
Yeah, and then we
it
talked
is.
about
It is a
earlier.
crazy sport.
Like if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just do boxing, just straight up boxing.
Hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we talked about earlier about that was your last fight in the contract. Has there been any talks about re up with the UFC, or would you remain at 145? Or I know UFC newer cards kind of building up. Would that be kind of a quick turnaround, or would you be ready for a backup fight there, or just a fight presented to you at that UFC 302, I believe, in New York?
You know what? I do like we're in talks. My manager's talking to them, and they're in contact. And I want to stay in the UFC. I know they leaked the newer card. So I think that card is full, but I know they have a fight night in Tampa, which is in
Hmm.
July, which I wouldn't mind. I'll be like, all right, y'all fight in Tampa. That's fine. Go to Florida for a bit. But if
Yeah,
New York presents itself, I'll do a quick turnaround. If not, like I said, I've just been training still because no injuries. Take advantage now. I mean, I was out for a year. I got to make up for lost time. So,
Hmm.
like, let's do it.
So, what do you think of UFC 300?
Dude, actually, I thought it was amazing. It was freaking amazing. The fact that everything ended the way it ended, like the prelims were all just straight up bangers. Even the fights that went to a decision, and like they were all great because you're learning something from like everyone was just so smart in what they did, and then you go into the main card and you're like, Jesus Christ, like you had the Charles Oliveira, and like I've like that should have been a 5 rounder to me.
Hell yeah.
Like that would have been a banger for a 5 rounder. Um,
Oh yeah, I would have.
then you had of course the legendary knockout by Max Holloway. I'm like, you just could not freaking write it better. Then even the Wei Lee fight, that was just odd. I thought she was out the first round after that choke, and I was like, what is going on here? And
Oh,
she was
dude,
back,
she
man.
was. She was out.
He was out.
She was out.
She was out, but I don't know. She ended up went there. I don't know what happened there, and then I feel like she took the quickest nap ever, and like she was out, like woke up, and she's like, "Yo, I'm ready to go again." And she put on a great fight. And then, of course, Alex Pereira freaking just, he's like,
Mm.
hold on, Dean. Don't worry about that groin kick. Boom! Just freaking uppercuts him into the other next country, man.
It was like a different kind of energy for this event. I know you fought on a lot of big events, but I can't imagine being able to fight on this event, UFC 300. That was wild, man.
That was insane, man.
Hey,
And
yeah. Would you?
I think what put a fire under all those fighters was those 300K
300K.
bonus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sure.
They wanted to show out, man. They wanted to put on a show and show Dana, you know what? I deserve the 300K. And
Well,
Max
let's see what happens.
Holloway comes out with 600K, bro.
600K plus whatever he made on top of that.
Yeah,
Good for him.
exactly.
You know what?
He
If anybody
deserves it.
deserves it, is that dude. That dude, like,
Hell yeah.
I remember meeting him when I first made my UFC debut. I was at we're in Boston. I was at the mall, and all of a sudden, like we were at a at a super dry store, and he stood next to me, and I was like, "Holy crap, you're Max Holloway!" We like walked around the mall for like a little bit for like two or three stores, and we were just chatting. I'm like, dude, it's like the coolest dude ever. Like a chillest freaking guy, so respectful, so humble, man. It's a person like that you want to see like really just come out on top the way that he did. So I was super happy for him. I mean, you couldn't have write it better. Last second left, knocks him flat.
Mm.
But you couldn't
Yeah,
help but
would
feel
you?
for Justin Gaethje. I mean, everybody.
Yeah,
I felt bad. I felt happy, but then I was like, "Oh shit! I hope he's
Well,
okay."
Right?
like it sucks for him. Like look, I'm
Yeah.
sure he got paid from that, but it sucks for him because now it's like the title picture
Yep.
puts him like in a like it gives him he has to take a step back. But I mean, think about it. If Dustin lost his fight and won one fight, he knocked out Dustin Poirier. Then Dustin won a fight. Now he's getting a title fight. Listen, let's see what happens with with Gage, I think he still has a shot. So so it sucks with it. Like it kind of puts him at like I wouldn't say it's a back to the drawing board, but it puts
Kind
people
of
ahead of
does.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of another guy that moved up to 45 and pretty much dominated up in your area, Aljo against Calvin Cater?
Oh, he fought a freaking smart fight. Look,
Yeah.
Cater's no joke, man, and he's like, was like, why he's gonna? And I get everyone's like hyped up because like it's knockout, finish. So people get spoiled. People get spoiled. But honestly, then he came out and he's like, why am I gonna take damage and get freaking hit by this dude? Let me just grapple and take him down. And he exposed the grappling and wrestling defense of Cater, and Cater had no answer. So, like my hat's off to him. He played a smart game, and now he can fight again soon as quickly as he can. And
Yeah.
think about it this way: he beat a top ranked guy, so now that puts him in like the high rank. Because I don't know where Cater was. I don't know if he was 5 or 6.
I believe he
He
was
was up
6.
there.
Yeah, so now he's up there. Now he can actually be like, it just drew a quicker shot to the title for him now. You know what I mean? And now he can probably fight. And I know he was calling out who's the Russian cat.
Ortega. He was calling out Brian
Evloev
Ortega, which I
Ortega
Molzar.
love that.
and Evo. I keep messing up.
Evloev
Evola,
Molzar.
yeah. So look, let's see what happens. I mean, look, and I'm sure if he beats any of those guys, it's a shot at the title for him. So good on him, man. I know they always give him a lot of shit, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
you
Have you ever had any?
yeah.
Have you ever had any cross training with Aljo or the Longo camp up there?
Oh man, this is like probably like not even really with them, but I know like a couple like the Long Island schools like way back when we were amateurs, so like almost turning pro, which is kind of like what makes it pretty exciting because like we all came up through kind of the same circuit and the same like regional scene, and to be like, you know what, good. It's like we all started here. Now we're all in the UFC. We're all at high levels. So good on them, man. Good on these people. And like freaking anybody could have been like, you know what, this is not for me. And but
Hmm.
we all
Hmm.
stuck it out, man. All the New York and
Oh
New
yeah.
Jersey people stuck it out.
So I want to know: is there anyone in particular you want to fight?
So I was looking for Nathaniel Wood because he's a former
Mm.
35er that went up, but he's fighting Daniel Pineda. So
Mhm.
he's fighting him in the UK. I even said like I don't mind traveling to like new to the UK to to fight, but since he's already booked, it's kind of whoever they have available next. So first, like first I just want to get this new contract and then be like, okay, let's fight in Tampa. I have no problem. July, turn around
Hell
and
yeah!
keep it still in the U.S.
I want to see you back in there, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. That's why
Hell
I'm
yeah,
staying in
dude.
shape, staying training. Like no days off. Like I'm in another fight camp.
Hell yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years, I mean, I think about it this way, like within the next year, let's see how the rest of the fight career goes, and then just I have my own Tiger Schulmanns school here in Bayside, Queens. I got great people that help me run this place and help me keep this place crushing every single month. So just kind of enjoying life, man. You know what?
Hell yeah.
I realized that like as we're getting older, it's like somebody said it's like you just want to enjoy the peace and quiet. Like everything's so
Yep.
rowdy outside,
Yeah.
just so much shit happening. I'm like, I just want to be at peace, man, with just great people around me, chilling, no stress, no nothing. And you know what? I gotta say, like I'm fortunate enough to have that, and I think that. So little by little, and then just
Awesome.
take a couple of trips.
Yeah. I'm with you with that, man. I'm 46, and I was having this conversation with so I'm a full time. I work in the healthcare. I'm a medical assistant, and
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to one of my patients, and he's like, time's starting to fly faster the older you get.
It
So
is.
it's you should now start realizing that you need to take time to just slow down and enjoy the day that you have when you wake up. Don't
Exactly.
stress. Forget about the problems. Just deal with what you get that day and make it the best day that you can. And if you wake up the next day, make it even better.
Yeah,
That's my
That's it. Yeah, man. Like that's true. It's true. Like, look, I get to actually just wake up and like I'm doing, I'm like living my dream. Like, look, I have my own martial arts school. It's very successful. I made it to the highest level that people are still trying to get into. Like I gotta say, man, it's freaking, like you put in that work, and then like the good shit's gonna come in on its own. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, take no shortcuts.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Has
All right,
anyone ever
Julio.
confused you for any other fighters, man?
What's up? Can you say that again?
Has anyone ever confused you for any other UFC fighter?
Oh man, if you only man. Some people say I'm Dan Ige. Some people said I was Rob Font. Some
That's
people
what
said I was Yair Rodriguez.
I didn't want
One
to
time,
say
one time, my teammate Mike Trezano, he was fighting. He was doing the Ultimate Fighter finale. I flew out to Vegas, and this kid walks up to me. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "It's really you." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, this is pretty cool." Like, I only had like 2 fights. I'm like, nobody knows me. And I'm like, "Oh, cool." Somebody knows. He's like, "Oh my god, Dad is Rob Font." So he hands me a picture of Rob Font, and I'm just like, "Fuck it, I'll sign it anyway." I'm not gonna tell him.
That's hilarious, dude.
Somebody did once confuse me after my MSG fight. Like, my eyes were really swollen, and they go like, "Oh my God, you're Kevin Lee," and I'm like, like, after he knocked out like Drager, they're like, "Oh my God, it's Kevin Lee. That was a great knock," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, that's great, that's great."
Kevin Lee.
Yeah,
Oh my
I've always
god.
thought that. I was like, man, Julio looks like a bunch of other fighters, man. Everybody that you just named is everything I've ever thought. So,
I'm just gonna have to
dude.
go bald and see my dude.
Yeah, then you're gonna look
Go-
like Volkanovski.
Oh my God, no!
They're gonna go, hey, Volk, I want a picture with you, champ.
I'll be like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
that's
what's
too
up? Let's
far.
go."
The Yair Rodriguez one kills me, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a
So I
good
got to ask you
question,
too. I got to ask you too, Julio, about the. I mean, it's going to happen. We know Marab's going to get that shot against Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Who do you got in that fight?
Honestly, I've known Marab for such a long time. And he's like someone
Yeah.
like such a freaking nice dude. Like I want Marab to win. I know that like I know it's like it's rough, but I want Marab to win. I
I
hope
want Marab to win.
he gets his shot and just like he's paid his dues. Dudes, I mean, what's he on 10 fight
Oh,
win
yeah.
streak? Something like that.
Yep.
It's fucking great. Yeah,
He's
just
Yeah.
due.
yeah, man.
Yeah, and they would have probably given him the shot had he agreed to fight his boy Aljo, which is what Dana was trying to do. And he had to wait. He had injuries. Looked the best he's ever been last time out, and he earned it the hard way, and he's proven it. So I think O'Malley was speaking about he doesn't want to fight overseas, so it may in fact be lined up for who knows Tampa or bring it back to Vegas. So hopefully, if you're on a card in Vegas and catch up with you in Vegas,
Yeah,
we can do
I'd
some
be down
content
for
there
that.
and
That'd be great.
catch up with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, man, dude. I'd be totally down for that. I'd be totally
Hell
down.
yeah. All right, Julio. Let's. I'm gonna go off a little bit off topic here. Let's talk about Julio Arce,
Mm-hmm.
the young kid growing up. What kind of kid were you, man? Were you a troublemaker? Were you a good kid? Good grades, or were you out there just
Listen,
going, making trouble?
look, as a young kid, I was a fat kid. I love food. Second thing, school grades. Listen, I was not the best person in school. Like at school just was not for me. Like, I passed my classes, but it's like, as like you're like, all right, you just barely made it. But honestly, I was just when I was really young, like I was skinny. Then I came to live in New York. I got fat. I wonder how that works. Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
It's all the good food, man.
All the good food. I'm like, nah, I can eat whatever the fuck I want. And then I just started training like at age of 12, and I was just locked in. Like I chose to give up other stuff to just be like, yo, I want to learn how to fight somebody, how to strangle somebody, like hone these skills where it's like, you know what? You guys can go out party, like that's always gonna be there. I'm gonna go strangle my partner over there, and we're gonna go freaking fight to the and it's honestly the best thing I could have done because it just kept me locked in, and I can't really say, like I caused trouble, and feels good, man. It feels good. The sacrifice was worth
That's
it.
good. That's good,
And
man. That's amazing. Um, so if you could tell your younger self what you know now, man, what would you tell him?
if I could tell them what I don't know, what they don't know,
Or what you
or
do know?
oh, dude, if I was like, if I told my younger self, like, dude, he's like, I would have told him start earlier, not way later. Start even earlier. So I started at 12, going to 13. I'm like, dude, you should start when you're a little kid, and just like imagine like that time, the amount of experience that I would have more. It's been would have been ridiculous. So, but stay locked in, man. Enjoy life. That's it. Live your dreams
Hell
out.
yeah.
That's
Hell
it.
yeah. Do you so do you believe in like the paranormal or UFOs or anything like that?
Ah, dude, so it's a hit or miss. Sometimes you make you question it. Sometimes you go down the rabbit hole. Sometimes just like, let me take a break. And then sometimes you just get drawn back in. Just like I heard that.
Yeah. Have you experienced anything like that?
No, but I have a lot of teammates that go down those rabbit holes, and then they try to convince me, and then I just listen. I'm just like, huh, interesting, and then they kind of get me to go into it, and I'm just like, oh, all right, I kind of partially believe it, but then sometimes like, no, no.
Well, that's what I do, man. I take fighters to these haunted locations, and I interview them there at these ghost towns or abandoned places, man. I'm gonna yeah, dude, and it's so freaking amazing, bro. I'm gonna send you a link after we're done with our show of one that I did with UFC vet Isaac Valley Flag.
Oh my god.
Um, yeah, and you're gonna see what I captured, and it is what it is. I even went and did a Bigfoot hunt with a MMA referee. So
Mm,
I'll send you that one too. And
that'd
I
be
don't know
great.
if yeah,
That'd be, that'd be,
it's
that'd
pretty
be
fun,
great.
dude. It's fun.
Yeah.
One day, bro. One day, if I ever go to
One day.
Vegas,
One day.
I'm gonna take you to one of these abandoned places out there, and we're gonna do an interview.
Whoa, hey.
That's like it's like
Wow. That
it's like
escalated real quick.
pause.
We're just be like,
It's
no,
like
I'm gonna wear
like
body cams.
I'm gonna come in like strapped and just like ready to kill something.
I know, right?
But
Oh, fuck. You guys got anything else for Julio?
What's your favorite martial
looking
arts
forward
movie? Oh, sorry, David.
I
Oh
think
no,
which one?
go ahead,
Martial
go
arts
ahead.
movie? Dude, martial
Go
arts
ahead.
movie. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. But it's like I grew up. Of course, you watch like the Bruce Lee movies. Some of like the old style Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like all these things like that. The old Mortal Kombat movies, even though they're just like completely like exaggerated as crazy. It's like it's. I grew up like watching Power Rangers when I was little. Like it was the best.
Nice. Nice. Oh man. Right on. Well, Julio, um, thank you very much, man, for jumping on. It's a
What?
huge honor to have you on, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of UFC fighters out there. They're like, I don't want to get on a podcast or whatever. But it's fun hanging out with us, man. It's just one of those things that we just love to do. So really do appreciate it.
Of
And you
course.
know what, man, we're gonna keep your dad in our thoughts and prayers, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure,
Yep.
man. We hope that he beats this, and that way he can continue watching you beat some ass on TV, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
for sure, bro.
Yep.
Before we let you go, man, any shout outs you want to give to anybody any sponsors, whoever you want to give a shout out, man, give a shout out to.
Nah, man, just everybody who supports the journey and they're part of it. I just appreciate everybody. My team, always Tiger Schulmanns, all the people that just been part of my journey in my life, my family, and you guys, they don't know who they are, but
Oh yeah.
gotta love them all. That's it.
Right on, brother. Well, I know David lives out in Vegas, so if you ever fight in
So
Vegas, man, y'all need to link up and do a quick 10-minute interview and
Absolutely.
hell yeah, man.
yeah, we'll do.
And if I ever
We'll
go to
do it.
Vegas, bro, or where
Ghost
wherever
hunt.
you're at, we're gonna go some ghost hunting.
You got it. You got it.
All right, brother. Have a
All
good
right,
night,
guys.
man.
Have a good night,
All right.
guys. Pleasure.
Later,
Thanks.
Peace
Julio.
out.
Thank you.
And,
All right,
Julio Arce.
guys. Julio Arce. Rudy
awesome.
had to reboot his system, but as we all know, we can
I
still
got that
go live
knockout.
without the
I got
Rudy.
that perfect on my topology for that fight of his too. That finish. I think that was perfect on my topology that night.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I think we all picked Julio to win.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Have
so
they did they cut Herbert Burns? Wasn't he on? I thought I seen something. He's been removed, right, from the UFC
I think
roster
it's been
since then.
removed. Yeah, I think he got
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
removed.
so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, but good on Julio though. Like we were talking, he was rolling the dice, and I mean that guy's been in there and mixed it up with some of the best. In his career, I mean, you gotta take them opportunities, and like he had that Cody Garbrandt fight that got canceled. I mean, he fought a guy like Song Yadong. Like the guy's got some names on his resume, and hopefully UFC gets something for him booked, and hope it's in Vegas. But if it's in Tampa, I think he's originally born in Miami, so I know why he wants to go back down. It's sort of home away from home. So
For sure.
shout
Hell
out to
yeah,
Julio
man.
though. That was
Yeah,
great,
shout out
great
Julio.
having him on. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.